Okay, so today we actually look at the difference between structures and functions and SC38. Now, what are structures? Now, these are group of fields put together, and it starts with type statements. And just like data elements, we can create global structures through SC11. Okay, so if we go for SC11, we have data type, okay, and in data type we'll just give any name, okay, any name, create. Now it will ask us for a table type, a structure, a data element. Now data element is a global variable that you can use in any program. So is the structure over here that we can create, okay. Now data element is one field that can be global. Structure is basically group of some fields that are put together, which is defined locally with types keyword. Okay, like now data types are like prototypes, like a car in showroom. It's not a real car, but it shows how a real car will be. You cannot ride a prototype, but actual car is the data object. So data types is the prototypes. Data object is the actual data because data objects hold the memory. Anything defined with types keyword is data types, which is statistical, and anything with data keywords is data objects. Okay, now we can write any structure over here and we can give the components and the types we can actually assign in the structure can be given as well. Okay, now let's see, I'll just give anything and so we'll look at the structures in more detail. Okay, input, of course, we can add some inputs over here, but we'll look at the structures later on. But right now, we'll just write this code that is waiting for us. Here, z demo Jan table types. We are going to actually create table types. Okay. Now, this is an interesting part only if we don't encounter um any errors. Okay, types is data types, a template, a prototype, and data keyword is for data objects. Okay, table types. Save. Types begin of ty mat. Okay, matner type matner type matner spruce type spruce and mktx type mktx end of ty mact. Okay, now this is basically your structure, the statistical prototype. When I write data, it basically means these are the variables that will hold data. Begin of WMAC work area, Matna, Matnas, Spruce type, Spruce, Mac text type matrix end of. Okay, end of WMACT. Now, what is basically MACT, work area MACT, MATNA? Now, this basically is holding data. Now, this is basically a data work area where it is holding an amount of a variable. But this cannot actually hold data. This is a template, a prototype, a proforma. Okay. Now, um, and ty mact matna is equal to 100. Now, ty matna is equal to 100. But thing is, ty-mact is a structure we cannot actually define like this, but this is basically the work area which can hold because it starts with the keyword that. Okay. Now this lecture basically is again a refresher for you if you have missed any coding as well. Okay. Now now that I have defined work area mac, there is another way. Data ty mact one type ty mact. This is one liner definition for ty-mact1 that it pulls all the features of this structure and becomes a variable. Okay. Another way, this is another way to define a data object. Okay. Now, if what I do here is I give occurs 0. What this is basically, it is occurs 0 is specifying size 0 at the time of initialization, or the initial time when the program is run. But also occurs, when I write occurs, it makes this data object, it converts data object, which are holders of data, holders of memory, data objects, into internal table. Just with this. Otherwise, we had to write type standard table of ty-mact, like it-mact type standard table of, which was like this. Um, data it underscore I standard table of ty underscore mact. This was another way to express and define an internal table. Okay. Now, moving ahead, occur specified initial space memory can store up to 2 GB of data. Defining data types 2, occur 0. Okay. Now, what I've actually maintained over here, let's deactivate it. Okay. Types ty-mact1 type ty-mact occurs 0. Now, this is making it an internal table, a table type. Okay. Now, what I can do is WMACT1 type ty-mact1. Now it is referring to this, which is a table type. Now this is a table type. Okay, that we just maintained in SC11. We just saw that. But occurs added to data keyword makes it internal table. So if occurs is given to data keyword, which is here, it makes internal table. Okay, so table types, if with types we add occurs, it actually converts into a table type. So table types is also a types category. If data objects, which are holders, WMAC type, TYMAC refers to a structure, it only creates one line, one work area. But if data objects refer to a table type like this, Data objects refer to a types, a table type. It creates an internal table. Now, this is basically an internal table. Okay. Next, report begin of TY-MAC, end of TY-MAC, type TY-MAC1 data. Okay. But if table is to be created from structure, use syntax data WMAC type standard table of you've already seen that. But there are some limitations in function. For example, I'll just save this. Okay, this was saved. I'll go to SC37 for functions. Now, functions are very important in your ABAP career. Okay, the demo Jan function module. Okay, over here, I cannot, in function module, there are some limitations. Now, what are the limitations? In functions, you cannot define type, standard table of, only type is available. Okay, let's just see how is that possible. Okay, over here, if I go to import, it's only type, not type standard table. But if I have to give, if I have to maintain an internal table, then I'll have to give an associated table type over here in import and export wherever I want it. But I cannot have type standard table of that is limitation that I'll have. Okay, and again, the same thing, the tables that we will be referring to, it's already empty, but we can actually fill it up. The source code, okay, types pras, maktx, matna, we have to see. Okay, next. But if internal table has to be made under associated type, in associated type, if I go to import under associated type, then we refer to a table type, as I mentioned earlier. Okay. Um, internal table ITMACT is being created over here with reference to ZJAN TB-MACT. Okay, CNS Plus, we did not actually create it somehow. IT underscore MACT type ZJAN TB-MACT does not exist. Okay, associated type, it does not exist. Somehow it's missing. But anyways, so line type of TY-MACT is fields mentioned in type structures. If we go back to the program, for example, SC38. Okay, over here, line type of TY-MACT1, line type of TY-MACT1 is fields mentioned in type structures. So basically, what is the line type of TY-MACT1? What does it contain? It contains these fields because TY-MACT is basically defining, making TY-MACT1 as a table type. So that is the line type. Okay. And now, since we don't have a dictionary for ZJAN TB-MACT, ZJAN, ZJAN TB type, okay, SC11. Okay. So what we need is ZJAN TB-MACT. ZJAN, ZJAN db mact create. And what is this basically? A table type. We are creating a data type, which is a table type. Okay, come on. Matrix Pras and MAKTX. Not responding. Let's go ahead. ty mact is table type with line type ty mact. Occurs 0. We've already seen that in our program. Occurs 0. This is the table type. Line type is. Now, what is line type? I'll just show you that in the dictionary, but only if it goes ahead. Then WMACT1 is internal table that has 3 fields of ty mact. Okay, now these are the fields. Whereas work area mact is work area of type ty mact. Okay, because it is without the occurs 0. Functions in in function, if you can work with functions and know how to call functions within programs, 80% of your job is done. 80% of complexity is with function modules. If you could understand function modules, then you can consider yourself as ABAP consultants. To avoid complexity, embed the complexity in a function module and then call it in a program. For example, if we have a file to upload, we have a program to upload a file from user desktop and process the file. Okay, so what we'll do is, okay, let's first, okay, initialization. This is the line type. Okay, now what is a line type over here? What areas will it search for? Elements, database tables, table types. MAKT is our database table. Table name, MAKT. Okay, material descriptions, MAKT. Line type, MAKT. Table type. Okay, initialization access. Initial number of rows, standard table, sort table, hash table, index. It will be a standard table. Okay, primary key. Key category, unique, not unique. Let's keep it all secondary key. Further secondary keys. Okay, line type, attributes. All right, save it. Local object. Okay, has been saved and activate. Okay, fair enough. Now, functions, I've already shown that. Let's create another program. P38. Change. We've already made this Z demo Jan TB type. That's table type. And we'll just is currently editing it. Okay, okay. What we'll do is we'll create parameters P underscore type string. Okay. And activate. Now, what I actually want from this program is to pick up a file from desktop or anywhere in the location. So if I want to create a code to pick up a file from desktop or anywhere, it will take me quite a long time to create that program. Okay. But if I use a function, pre-made functions, now over here I don't have a search function. Okay. I want that also. So what I'll do is at selection screen on request, value request for p underscore file. Now, because I want to see the list, if subroutine is initial. Now, this is for debugging. And if Control Shift F12. Okay, active. Activate. Over here, I can only activate a debugger when it is activated. Okay. Now, if I run this direct processing, it will run the debugger first. Now it has a search program. Okay. Now the debugger is starting. Invoke function. Now we will invoke function over here. Okay. That will be great. P file. Okay. The type string. Okay. I'll go back. Execute. I'll write the program and we will call a function over here. More pattern call function. Now, what is that call function that we are going to? We have F4 file name, continue, and it will automatically give us a structure. Okay. Now this is basically the structure that will follow. Exporting. Okay. Program name is system C program, system dynamic, dynpro number, field name. Now this has to be p underscore file, and file name p underscore file. Okay. Now full stop is given over here. It is breaking over. It is completing over here. Make sure actual parameters are same as formal parameters. Okay. Actual parameters p file and formal parameter is file name. File name, formal. P underscore file, this is actual parameters. Okay. During importing and exporting. Now, what we'll do is we'll go for this part. We'll click on function and it will take us to the function part. Yes, save. Okay. Now, this is where basically we have file name like, which is the type. So we go back, we copy this, and instead of string, instead of string, source code, copy, Control C. Okay, now this is the function basically, pre-made function. Now it will act like that. Okay. Next, formal parameters type is defined here. Go back to program. The formal parameters are basically given over here. Okay, and we will save it. This is saved. Activate. Okay, and I'll just remove this and execute it. Direct processing. P file. It will pick a file on its own, and it will give me a prompt to pick up a file. Okay. So basically, this is how you can make your life easy with pre-made functions. All we just did was we called in, and this was a pre-made function. Okay. Now, next part, what is that? For example, if a user wants to reverse the order of the numbers shown here, either write the code or use a function module. Okay. So what we can do is, for example, period, data processing. I want to give a number over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I want to reverse this order. Okay, so what I'll do is pattern, call function, um, string reverse, enter. I'm giving a star, okay, and it will search for me a file name which has these. Okay, okay, returns a string in reverse order. Okay, just this one, string reverse, string underscore reverse. Okay, and the call function, it's created on its own, string reverse. All I have to give is the underscore file. Language will be E. R string. What is R string basically? R string is P underscore file. Let's deactivate this. Okay. P file exceptions, two small one, two others. Okay. And write P underscore file. This will throw error because it does not support strings. Instead, use data type as shown below at the start of the programs. So let's activate. And parameters. And we have okay. That's activated. Direct processing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Execute. Okay. Objections. Okay. Is not supported by strings. SC38. So what we'll do is data string type car10 and Strings are not supported for this. So p file type car then. Okay. And v underscore string. Okay. And p file, string reverse. Yes. Value string, language, R string, move space to R string, describe field. So it is already made. Okay. It's pre-made and it actually shifts using R string and using functions. So these actually make your life quite easy. Okay. I just want to see R string, value R string type. All thing is good. We'll just go back and come on.